Yeah, another Jupiter update, right? And hopefully, I'm not boring you guys with this stuff, but to me, it's the most exciting story going on because look, it's happening, right in front of our faces. Like yesterday, we were talking about this, but this object with its telescoping, or I'm sorry, umbrella-like apparition going on. Here's the Earth, Mars, Venus. We think a comet, and then this baffle, that's where Jupiter went behind. But this is what we're looking at. A lot of people are saying that this is a Cameron artifact and that this is not true, that you can't trust this NASA imagery and so on and so forth. Well, today's video is to say, well, then explain this, okay? If you think that's a fake image or imagery up there, then tell me how my guys from the ground are photographing it from the ground and seeing the same thing, right? Let me read the letter from Eugene J., my very, very good subscriber who took these two outside frames so that we could see the progression of this object as it moves past Jupiter on the, again, Secchi photography, right? We believe we're seeing this from the ground. We're seeing this object. Jupiter's up here. It's perfectly oriented. Everything makes sense. So let me take you to this letter. I took this picture at 10 o'clock on June 11th, this picture here, and compared it with a picture that I took on June 7th with the exact same tripod mounting setup using level bubbles and the XY planes for each image. Since the tripod was set up for identical for each picture, we can compare the location of the object with Jupiter in pictures. We see that it has moved to the left to about the 7 o'clock position and is 5.5 inches away, comparing center to center of the object of Jupiter. The object on June 7th, 2018 was approximately directly below Jupiter, this one, and 4 to 5/8 inches away from Jupiter from center to center. Different monitors will display the center distance unique to the monitor, and he's just using his own variable there. But they represent about a 19% increase in distance between the object and Jupiter center to center. So in only 4 days, the object has moved significantly away from Jupiter and is moving to the left and down relative to Jupiter. For something to move that much in only 4 days suggests it's very close to the Earth compared with Jupiter and not a natural object. Both images are the same actual pixel size cropped from the larger raw file. So here is telescopic evidence. And what I'm going to do, and I'm going to go to this middle image here in a second because that's our other space photographer. And again, neither one of these guys are Bruce Sees All. We're still going to get him on a show and see where he's at. But you can see it is a round green object, at least from our perspective. Now this middle frame, furthermore, people were saying that this, what we're calling is, and I'm going to tell you in a second why I say this. So there's a little clip I'm going to show you from another artist. But the reason why this Vesica Piscis is so important, guys, is to me it's the signature of the adversary, the one who takes life, who's not connected to source, who's eating other people and planets and things to survive, right? And wouldn't it behoove us to know when it's the bad guys that are doing stuff versus the good guys? And so what we see here is a little expose that this artist put together for me to show, right? Over the last several days, the progression of this, and as Jupiter moved past this thing, we saw an explosion, right, on Jupiter. The anomaly is independent of Jupiter, as can be seen when the telescope moves across the field of view from left to right. If the anomaly was associated with a camera or telescope reacting to the overexposure or brightness of Jupiter, then it would have tracked the source of the bright light from Jupiter. This is clearly not the case. And so again, our telescopic evidence right now from two independent astronomers, we're tracking an object, and we've also seen some kind of an energy disturbance out by Jupiter. And it all goes with what the Navy's telling us right here. So ground-based observations confirm the Navy observations. See what I'm saying? So anyway, in case you have any doubts that we're not, connecting our dots properly on this particular story, I just want to make sure you guys know that this is a lot of work's been going into this story lately, and just wanted you to know that we've got a lot of good stuff. Anyway, so with that said, what I want to do real quick is I want to take you to some pictures here. And these are the June 13th, just today. I mean, this is how crazy it's getting right now, you guys. And I'm just going to walk through these photographs because they're just cool, right? This one, we're seeing the orb in Alaska again from Hooper Bay. If you want to go take a look at that camera on the FAA cams, you know, the more of just the weird sunsets, right? This one almost seems that our artist on 612 actually captured a large orb and a little orb, and we've seen that before. The FAA cams are just going nuts. Here is a really cool picture. This is from actually a year ago, but it was a really, I mean, just a very unusual photograph that went viral that the subscriber was good enough to share with me. Now, what I wanted to look at, though, photograph-wise here, is I wanted to look at the Secchi image that was given to me by A.O.L. Kidman, one of our great researchers. And whenever I see this, this cut-off orb with multiple rings, I don't think that this is an object. I think it's some kind of a strange effect that happens with Core 2, the satellite, rather the Secchi telescope that we're looking at. And I really think that that's a moment when the sun's being eclipsed by something. And that's what I'm thinking. So there's all kinds of objects shooting around in the inner solar system right now, as we are seeing here. And then the last one I want to take is, this is my good friend Gary Slalom. And again, just showing some pictures and walking through, just he watches those Alaska cams so close. And there's very rarely a time that something gets by Gary. But here we've got the orb-looking object up in here in this. And again, a lot of the stuff that we see is lens flare and light. But again, these are rotating weird objects. And so why is any of this important? Right, and here's one where it actually shows it as a flare because it's in front of the mountain. So again, like we said, we've never thought that it was, we always thought it was an effect, an optical effect that's allowing us to see what's up there. But what's important about all this stuff, right? Because it should make you stop and think that the world isn't as secure and safe as we once all thought. And that if you're taking your hope and your sustenance and everything and so forth, if your whole thing is wrapped up in the way of life on this world right now, I'm telling you that this is your time to wake up and prepare for change. That's where we're at on it. Anyway, now I'm going to take you to another, well, you know what? I'm going to do a separate video on this, I think, and just leave this one alone right now today. But with that said, you guys, I hope you have a great day. And thank you to all the people who send me pictures. You can send me pictures by clicking on the link below. Or I'm sorry, the email below, which is olson.steven.d@gmail.com, and we welcome your photographs. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.